I want to make a motion to vote, to send it to the town manager to sign the ground lease. Get this over with. This is just painful.
Hold on to that motion, please. I was asking if there was any questions on this particular item for the recreation director to be included as part of the board or leave it as it is. So that's the question at hand right now. So that's, I think the people here need to know that, so we know, and the solicitor, so we can all, so they know which direction to go in. Councilor Luther.
I'm very happy with it as is. I understand Councilor Cordio's concern. It seems like it has been addressed with the at-large membership having certain expertise or focus, and I too don't want to tie the board's hands.
So
I'm comfortable with the way it is now, so I'll be voting to approve.
Councilor Schwarber.
I'm fine with the way things are. As our solicitor is fine with this, I'm ready to vote to approve.
I think we still have a long discussion about whether or not we're carving out these courts. I'm okay with the board, the 7 members of the board, but I'm ready for the next topic. We'll talk about it pretty soon.
Let's go. Do you have any more comments on the recreation part? You're okay? Okay. All right, so I guess the consensus, I think, is to leave it as it is as far as the recreation portion goes. So we're good with that. The next part is that we need to decide is whether or not the council wishes to cleave out, as Mr. Glory says, other people say carve out that northeast section. We need to decide as a council if we want to leave that carve out in or not, or have it as part of, yes. Nick.
President, did you vote on that last time? Can someone go ahead and refer to the minutes on that?
It was,
session, please.
and the solicitor, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Solicitor, you took that and you stated it that night, if I'm not mistaken, that you took that as a vote to, not as a final vote, but as part of moving forward with the ground lease, and then we would have further discussion on that and decide if we wanted to do it. And the council can, I mean, since it's in there, the council can take a vote to remove that and leave it as part of the property.
That is how we treated it. If we look back at the minutes, that is how we treated it. That's how I approached it.
Right. So that's the, so if we move it forward as this is, and then the carve out would stay in. Now, if we want to move to take the carve out and leave it as part of the SBE, then we can take that vote and carve it out. I mean, put it back in as part of the lease, and they just erase all those lines and include it. I mean, so what's the council's pleasure? Council Petra.
Let's not forget the original purpose of this project was recreation, community center. If we carving out these 2 courts, and it seems like almost a push as far as courts go, we're carving out 2 courts and we're picking up 2 courts as part of the SBE from the plan I saw. I would like to keep them. So now we really have a community center. We have 4 courts possibly, or maybe 3, and even more recreation. And it's not a push, but it's a win. And that's what I'm looking for. So I would like to see these courts stay with the SBE. And, you know, we put it as the town's portion and we'll maintain them, but they belong there.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think the last time you said if those outdoor courts stayed with the property, that they would be maintained by the SBE, or would it be a separate, the town would just maintain it? It would be part of the SBE, but the town would maintain it? Or what was your thought?
So we did go back actually and look at those minutes to make sure we knew, and the vote then was 4-3 to carve it out. And so honestly, our collaborative group has simply not been talking about the courts because it was our understanding that they were out and that the town for now would continue to use them, but for your long-term strategic decision of what to do with that property, that would be that's up to the town and would not have to confer with the SPE or anybody else about what to do it. So we've been operating since the end of October, assuming that's why we went and kind of got it officially done, was that property was coming out to leave with the town.
It'd be an easy fix. It would stay in the SPE. It would protect it from ever being developed as something other than courts. It would stay the SPE and it would obviously be part of the town's portion. And it would be on us to maintain it. It would be part of we're the anchor tenant that would take care of that portion of it. Easy fix, just throw it back in. In fact, I think you might have had it in the original plan before we didn't vote to carve it out, but vote to see what it would look like carved out. So we could just go back to that original plan.
Mr. Chair, I recommend that anybody who wants to make a modification to this, make a motion to make an amendment, we can vote on it. And if that fails, then we vote on the full procedure.
So discussion is over?
You can make a motion, and if it's seconded, then we'll have a discussion on it, and then we'll take a vote, but let's the manager speak first.
And again, I'm part of the group here. It was very clear, that this was getting carved out. The money they have spent surveying this property, carving this piece out, and we're just saying, take it back, that is not fair to this whole process. I mean, we're looking to protect the courts on behalf of the town. They're the town's property. You can put housing there, you can put the access. I don't know what we're looking at bringing it back in for. There's a lot of time and effort that went into this.
So we did in fact vote to carve this out. You are 100% correct, 4-3.
Yes, ma'am.
We did. And it just seems to me that keep the carve out. The courts are there. We can keep them if we want or not, but it doesn't have to tie up what we're doing here tonight. My thought.
That's because you want to carve them out for affordable housing, is it not?
All right, so do we have a consensus to move this forward for vote at the next meeting?
I'll take a shot. I make a motion that we carve out, we take the carve out of the courts and put them back into the SPE.
Oops, is there a second? All right. The chair doesn't normally.
I make a motion
Second it.
to get
So-
to have the solicitor, the town manager sign the land lease now, tonight, not another night. I don't want to come back and listen to this anymore.
I second it.
All right. Okay. Discussion on, well, our rules call for a new business to be moved to the next meeting.
There's a motion and a second.
There's a motion for the town solicitor with the second to sign the lease tonight.
And
Motion's
it's
out of order.
Yes, and when we have new business, the procedure is to move it forward for a vote. They know very well tonight that it's going to be done. And so I don't think everybody needs to come back next time. You have
Well,
it.
the
and
typical
I imagine
motion, the
it's-
typical
it's
motion
going
is a motion to allow the manager to sign the documents
Thank you.
with
but that's-
approval by the solicitor.
No, we're going by our rules of procedure. Thank you. And the procedure is for new business to be moved forward for adoption at the next meeting. You know that it's going to get approved. I think it's probably going to be unanimous, and you've got everything here.
Again, I
So the
make the
motion-
motion to have the solicitor, the town manager sign this. The reason this is new business because you stuck it under new business because you didn't want to vote on it tonight. And it should have been an old business and we should be voting on it tonight. This is ridiculous. You're the only one who's complaining, Bill. So I think we should at least have the vote. I don't know why you're
The
obstructing.
motion is out of order. Council Luther.
Would the chair entertain a motion to suspend the rules so that we can vote on this tonight?
Is there a second?
Second it.
The discussion on suspending the rules.
I'm glad that Mr. Lauter bailed you out. You should learn our rules, Mr. Lombardo.
Does anybody have any discussion on suspending the rules to move this forward for tonight? No? No? All right. Well, I'll just say this. I'm probably going to lose out on this. But I think it's better to do the public service and have it listed for the next meeting. And we're having a special meeting next week. It could even be the first item on the agenda that night. I think it's more appropriate to do that for something of this magnitude. If it was just some little simple thing, no biggie. But I personally,
There's a motion
I
out
think
there, Bill.
this
There
is
is a
discussion.
motion out there, Bill. There's a motion. You can't
Counselor,
ignore it.
this is the discussion part. Nobody else chose to discuss this right now, so I am. When the vote comes up, people can vote however they want. But I can tell you right now, mine is going to be a no tonight, so it will not be unanimous. Because I promised everybody that I spoke with that I would be voting at the next meeting. So it's not going to be unanimous. I can assure you to that tonight if we're forced to vote on this. I'm just letting you know right up front, I support it. I want it. I appreciate the neighborhood. I want to do the right thing. But I also want to do the right thing for everybody and to put this out in the public and let them know. Like I said, we'll put it on the first item next week. No big deal.
It's not going to be before
So-
persons to be heard.
Mr. Legora, your comments are over. Thank you.
And
This is, if there's a discussion on suspending the rules, that's what this discussion part is. This is the vote to suspend the rules to vote tonight. I said my piece. It's only the opportunity for the council to speak now. Thank you. So does anybody else wish to say anything during suspending of the rules? We'll take a roll call. Councilor Shalaba? This is just for suspending the rules in order to vote to approve this instead of moving it forward to the next meeting.
I'd like to vote to approve this tonight and not move it forward to the next meeting.
So you're voting in favor of suspending the rules? Councilor Cordio?
no,
Councilor Overton?
Yes.
Councilor Luther?
Yes.
Yes.
And the chair votes no. 5-2. If I get that. Or 2-5, whichever way you want to go it. The 5, so we're suspending the rules. Now, is there a motion to authorize? Oh, Mr. Solicitor, we have 3 documents here. How do you want to proceed with this?
I would ask that the council vote in order and approve each document, please.
Okay. So Chair will entertain a motion to approve the ground lease agreement.
So moved.
Excuse me, you have a motion on the floor to sign the ground lease.
Well, we had to do the
Right, then
suspend the
you went to
rules.
suspend it, which was approved. You still have a motion by Mr. Lombardo, seconded by Ms. Shalaba, that the town manager be authorized to sign the ground lease.
Right, now, we hadn't authorized to suspend the rules. That's why I went to suspend the rules first, and then
So now do you want to go back to that motion?
it-
somebody would have to
Doesn't
make it
matter.
again, Mary.
Yeah, I ruled that one, initial one out of order. All right, so a motion to, and we do this in 3 steps. Each item will have its separate vote. So the first one is a motion to approve the ground lease or authorize the approval of the ground lease tonight. Council Overton, second by Council Luther. Any discussion on that? Take a roll call vote. Council Lombardo? Council Luther? Council Overton? Council LaPetra?
Yes.
Council Cordio?
Yes.
And the chair votes no for the reasons I stated. Tower Street Center bylaws. The chair will accept the motion. Discussion? Council Lombardo? Council Luther? Council Overton? Council LaPetra?
Yes.
Council Cordio? Council Shalaba?
Yes.
Chair votes no for the reasons stated. Tower Street Center, Articles of Incorporation, motion to approve. Discussion? Council Lombardo? Council Luther? Council Overton? Council LaPetra?
Yes.
Council Cordio? Council Shalaba?
Yes.
And the chair votes no for the reasons stated. And my apologies for that, but I'm standing by the principles on that. Thank you very much for everything, and I do support it.
Thank you.